coming at you from the kitchen. Today I want to dive into the holidays as we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. So we're going to do a very delicious red and green braised cabbage that I think is really great for the holidays. Having a Polish and German background, I think it's always a staple. So we'll do a little bit of that. Some nice fresh golden delicious apples, onions, and some other ingredients. So let's get to it. So here we are. We have some bread and some green cabbage. I like to use a variety. It just kind of makes it nice and colorful. And the green adds a nice little freshness to it. So I have my chef knife here, which I already quartered half of the cabbage. So I just take it and kind of cut it on a bias. Nice uniform pieces for both the red and the green so that they cook evenly in the pan. And then we'll take the green here and we'll go on a bias here at an angle. Nice uniform pieces. If you have to cut it down, the piece is too large. Always keeping safety in mind when you're slicing, so you don't want to lose those fingers. And we'll slice these down to size and get these right in the bowl here. All right. And then last little chunk, I'm going to break this one down into two pieces. And then we'll get this all squared away. Always keeping your fingers tucked in, like we talked about in the previous video, so you don't slice them off. And here's the cabbage. All right, next we will do the onions. So I already diced up half, but I cut it in half this way. And then you start with half, so it's a nice flat surface, so that it doesn't really go anywhere, it doesn't move. And I'm going to start fingers tucked in and start slicing kind of sunrise style, where you start on one side and work your way like a sun all the way over. Because as you know, onions have layers, and once you break down these layers, it'll dice up into nice uniform pieces. So here, you'll grab the sides, knuckles tucked in, and cut against the grain of what you just diced. Nice uniform pieces here. Clean off your knife every once in a while. And there you are. And then this we'll take and we'll use it for stocks, different sauces. So never throw away your scraps if you can use them for something else. Always a good kind of tool to remember is to pretty much use every ingredient you can. Saves a little bit of money, a little bit of time. All right, and then last but not least, we're gonna take our yellow delicious apple here. And I like to leave these a little bit on the larger side, just because it has a little more texture to the dish, where we'll be softening up the cabbage. So you want to leave a nice, like, crunchy, sweet, tangy apple kind of larger in there. So we'll dice these up, kind of large dice there. Remember tucking in your fingers, flat side down, letting that knife guide its way all the way down on that knuckle. And we'll do the last two pieces here. All right. There we are with that. We are also doing plain white sugar. You can use brown, substitute brown if you want. Butter. We have a cup of water. Tablespoon of vinegar. Oh, this was 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and a teaspoon of each of salt and pepper. So let's go to the stove. Okay. All right, guys, we have a medium heat here on a nice gas stove. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of butter and get this melting a little bit here. Get it nice and hot. It'll introduce a lot of flavor. And as this starts to melt, you can add your onions to get those going. So you're going to get these nice and hot. It's called sweating. You want to sweat your onions to get a lot of the flavor out. And you will go till they are starting to become translucent or see-through. The butter will kind of melt and help coat all of that. I'm going to go up a little bit more here. Sweating those onions. Now there are other recipes you could do. Some recipes for braised cabbage call for beer, for caraway seeds. Feel free to add anything you want to try. There's never really a wrong answer unless you're baking, which is a lot more scientific, because once it's in the oven, there's no turning back. Alright, at this point they're starting to become a little bit see-through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my apples. Get these to start caramelizing. Now at this point, what I want to do is I want to add my sugar. So I'm going to add my sugar early because you want to give the sugar some time to develop the caramelization that we need for our cabbage. Get a nice flavor in there. Sprinkle in our sugar. Get everything coated. Really nice here. And like I said, we're about medium to medium high heat. We're going to go at this heat until just once we get the cabbage in and get that heated up, and then we'll turn it down to let it simmer a little bit. Now don't worry about having too much cabbage. It's going to look like a lot, but it really cooks down a lot. There's a lot of moisture in cabbage. So you'll be able to really cook it down and make sure that it's really, really nice and tender. Okay, so the apples have been in there for about a minute and a half. So we will take it and we are going to add our cabbage now, right on top of that. Now, like I said, it's going to look like a lot once you get it in the pan, but it's really going to cook down. Like I said, I'm using red and green cabbage. Adds a nice color, a nice crunch and texture to it, and this is going to kind of cook down. Always cleaning as you go. Nice clean workstation. So we'll let this cook for about a minute or two to kind of let it start to reduce a little bit. Kind of breaking up some of the pieces and clumps that we had. Cabbage has so many different layers. Kind of mixing these apples and onions all through there. Look at that, that looks delicious already. So while we're letting this cook, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave in the comments any videos you might want to see, any ideas you want me to try and cook for you, or offer any tips if you want to see something changed or you tried a different recipe. let me know. I want to see what you guys are doing. So we've got a nice saute going here. Now what makes it a braise is we're going to add our liquid. So it's a quarter of the way cooked. So we have our cup of water. We have our vinegar. And at this point we're also going to add our salt and pepper. Give that a sprinkle on there. All right, give this a nice mix. All right, and we're gonna let this go. So for right now, it's about to braise, or it's braising. We have the liquid in there. I'm going to take the cover and place a cover on it. And turn it down just a little bit, and then we will be back to check on this in roughly 5 to 6 minutes. All right, guys, here we're back after 6 minutes. We're going to take off this cover, watching out for the steam. Steam burns hurt the worst. All right, we're going to mix this. Oh my gosh, it smells delicious. The cabbage is starting to break down. You can still see a lot of liquid in there, so it still needs a little bit of time. This is not a fast cooking process. It's about 20 to 30 minutes for this dish. You want to give time for the cabbage to kind of break down, releasing all that liquid. You can start to see the red is already becoming a lot softer. Still got the time to let the cabbage release all of that liquid. So we're going to let this go here for another about 10 minutes, roughly. Seeing it still has a little bit of liquid. Remember, we are on medium heat at this point. Alright, and we will cover it back up and we will be back. Alright guys, here we are. We are going to check on our cabbage here. Careful steam burns. Alright, see now at this point, a lot of our water is already cooked into and out of the cabbage. So see, it's like getting really nice and soft. And depending on your heat and temperature, you might have to add a little bit and touch more water. Sometimes in different recipes you can use chicken stock, vegetable stock. So I'll take about another half a cup of water here. Add a little bit more in there, and we'll let that go for a little while longer. Alright guys, we're back. Let's check this out here. Nice, a lot of the water is already gone. It's soft, the cabbage looks really delicious and caramelized. Bits of apples and onions in there. Really nice. So this is the point, it's about done. You see no water. It's really nice, caramelized, smells really sweet. All right, let's go plate it. All right, here we are. So you can plate this in a bowl. You can plate it on a nice plate for dinner. So I just grabbed a pair of tongs here. I'm gonna take it and plate it right in the middle here. Some nice height to it. Now what you can do, it pairs really well with pork chops, as a really nice side dish. Ham during the holidays, anything like that. Nice, delicious, very sweet. Let's give it a taste. All right, so look, you got some caramelization in there. Nice braised cabbage, nice and soft. Here we go. That's delicious. A little crunch in there from the apple and the onions. A little crunch from the cabbage, some sweetness from the sugar. Wow, that really tastes good. Great for the holidays, anytime. Delicious. Try this recipe. Like, subscribe. Recipe will be down in the description. And once again, comment. Let us know what you want to try next. I'm always down for something fun and exciting. See you next time.